you'll notice that it's got a curve to it. It's not like a straight knife, but it's got a curve to it. And that curve is to more easily conform to the curvature of the arm or the leg that you are working on. Now, I don't have a lot I can do in the way of pain control, so speed is the surgeon's friend, and the way that and the patient's friend as well. So I'm going to have to work very fast, and everything needs to be extremely sharp. So this would be very, very sharp, and I would cut straight from the flesh and the muscle right to the bone in 2 cuts, just like so. 1, 2, just like that. And we beat the bone. Then step number 2 is we draw everything down and fetch this fellow. This is called the capital amputation saw. And if it looks like a giant carpentry saw, it's because basically it is. And you'll notice it's got the pistol grip handle, and that is so that if I'm performing a series of multiple amputations and the handle or the grip becomes great with gore and blood, it's harder to drop. It doesn't become slick and unmanageable. So what I'm going to do is that we work our way through the bone. So, now you'll notice I've got my finger in the way there. That's not because I'm stupid and wish to have my finger cut off today. Because that's the first thing you learn as a surgeon's mate is keep your fingers out of the way. But I do that so that I don't actually get the saw blade on her, because one time I was doing this very thing for a little boy, and he had volunteered. He was very kind to step up and volunteer. And I'm just pretending to saw, and I look over here to talk to someone who's asked a question, and I'm still working, and the little boy says, "Ow!" And I realize I was sawing his arm. It's a little aggravating. So I keep my finger there, not because I want to have it cut off, but that way if anybody gets sawed, unclamp this, she's going to gush. We don't want that. No, we don't want that. We lost one. So we're going to draw them out, we're going to tie them off. Oh, wait till we get to dentistry, you're going to love. So then we draw everything down, we make a nice little snub and we stitch it up. And then we release this fellow. And we're all done. Give her a round of applause, she was very good. So there you have it. Alright. Now we do it that way not because I'm barbarian and I like to hurt people, but we do it that way because that's the only way we know how to do it. So let's see, next, everybody loves to go to the dentist. Now here's a quick informal survey. First of all, raise your hand if you've ever been to the doctor. Alright, yeah, that's pretty common. Now raise your other hand if you've ever been to the dentist. Alright, now the problem is, in your time, your dentist and your doctor more than likely, unless you go in some place where the price is really low, your dentist and your doctor are not the same person. But I am. I do everything. Although, let's just be honest, it's the life of the dentist. But the proof, as they say, is in the pudding, and there's your pudding right there. Now, I've got all these teeth in here, and you can come up and have a look at them when we're done. But I've got these fellows. Yeah, isn't that exciting? You can't hardly wait. It's at lunchtime, you're not starving. You're going to be so glad to go to him and not me. Because see, I can't fill a hole like that. Well, I can actually. You can use gold. You can use a little bit of gold. Or you can use lead to fill a hole like that. Well, what's it going to hurt? It's just lead. It's soft and malleable. So I show these to show that each and every one of these teeth is pain and suffering spared some poor soul by my hand. And let me show you some of the instruments I use. This first one, the primary tool, is called the tooth key. And tooth key, it's a compound word. First word is tooth, that gives you the hint as to what it works on. The second word is key. The way this goes in is it goes in your mouth, against the jaw, the hook goes over the tooth like so, and now you'll notice even a gentle turn how it latches on. See how it latches on there? I have to do it gently because one time, as a matter of fact on Thursday, I got a little overzealous in my turning and nearly twisted my thumbnail off the tip of my thumb. It was extremely painful. I did it in front of a classroom full of students, and I had to bite my tongue to keep from introducing them to some colourful language. So, but as you can see, even a gentle turn, it latches on and stays latched on. So if he had a bad tooth, I'd come over here and we'd get him going and we'd give it a good turn, and hopefully, out of it. Now if it wouldn't come out all the way, because the trick is, if you can get the tooth out whole, it really is the best way to do it. It's going to spare you the most pain and suffering. But you've got to get all the pieces out, and if the tooth breaks, is in poor condition and it tears apart, it's no good. Then you're going to have to go on a fishing expedition in the poor soul's mouth and so forth. So, like so. If I can get that tooth up just a little bit above the gum line, and I can get access to this little bit right here, I can use this fellow. This is called the goat's foot elevator, and I can put this underneath and lift from below. I can lift from below. Mr. Tumbush, you're looking a little pale. All right.
Remembering the last time.
Yeah. So if you can get underneath, you can raise it up from below and hopefully keep the tooth intact. You've also got the hook in case you need to do that. But and of course, the instrument of last resort is these are called the Cranesbill forceps, and if I've got broken bits of the root or the tooth down in the socket, you can use this little fellow. You'll notice this is my socket, my tin socket. Get down in the socket, fish the pieces.
Fishing is enough.
Now I know this sounds horrible because there's almost nothing worse than tooth pain. But here's the thing, if you've ever had a tooth go really bad on you, and about 2 years ago I did, because I let it go far too long, I had a great cavity in it. It was the one in the very back. And you wake up one morning and you think, oh my God, what have I done? I've let this go too long. You've got an abscess that's started to form. You think to yourself, you know what? I would sit still for 5 minutes for this, if I would make this pain stop. So think about how desperate you have to be before this seemed like a really viable option to you. Alright? So now part of the permanent collection. Oh, and of course, everyone always wants to know, well, what do you do for pain control? And for oral types of surgery, we use cloves. Now cloves, of course, smell like my mother's house at Christmas time. Oh, they're strong. I've just got some fresh ones. But fantastic for working the mouth. And what I would do is take a quantity of those, and grind them up, or do a fine powder with my mortar and pestle once I've got my lice comb down. Oh, there's still some in there, look at that. Fantastic. And you grind them up into a fine powder. Have a sniff. Yes, like I said, it smells like Christmas time at my mother's house. Do I need to put you to work, little person? You, Tommy, you. Would you like to smell this? It's very smelly. Want to smell? Come on, smell you. Did you get a good whiff? I said you got a good whiff. Well, alright. I suppose it's okay. What do you think? Smelly? Yeah, we love smelly things. Part of the reason I'm in this business. So, I'll get the smelling salts in a minute. So, you take that powder after you ground it down into a nice fine powder, and you place it on the gum, and it's going to numb it fairly well, actually. And the extract, that's not a word, the extract of cloves is used in a lot of your modern dental knowledge. Everybody enjoys the good news dentistry. Let's see where we are and what we have. Oh, I need to introduce you to this little fella. So I showed you the big one for amputation, but I didn't introduce you to his little brother. This is called the metacarpal saw. and it's used for the small bones of the fingers and the toes. So if you come out here onto the frontier and you don't take proper care of your extremities in the winter time, I might have to cut one off if you get frostbite, you see. So that's the little saw for the little delicate bones of the fingers and the toes. So there you go. Let's see what else we can do. Yes.
What about the instrument?
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm afraid that doesn't belong until my children's time. That handsome fellow with he's got great hair. He'll be using it like a madman. I don't get to use it. You're going to get a special treat. I didn't get to show this one off yesterday, but I've got extra time. And this is an original. All my instruments are reproductions, so that I can throw them about and get them dirty. This fellow right here, he's an original. Hello. This is called a Cleistocerene. Now, problem with cooking your food over a fire is that the heat is frequently uneven, and how can I put it delicately? Occasionally, the meat that the game and so forth that you get out upon the frontier is not the most sanitarily prepared, and you might end up with intestinal parasites and worms. And then when that occurs, you're going to come and see me to get dewormed. Now a Cleistocerene, the way this would work is, I would fill this chamber with tobacco smoke from a pipe, and the way you can do it in a couple of ways. You can take the end off, or you can insert the smoker in the end, like so. And the tobacco smoke, once you get it into the chamber, then I would desire you to bend over, and up it would go. Up it would go. Just like that. Look, it's got no pump on it. Right? Have you ever heard the term, don't blow smoke up my backside? Well, that's where this comes from. You are welcome. Now, here's the best part of the story. Are you ready for it? Brace yourself. Brace yourself. This was given to me as a gift from another doctor who works in another part of the country. And that doctor found it in an antique shop where it was labelled, the price was very low because they had it labelled as an antique cake decorator. You will also notice, as being an original, I'm also very careful never to touch the tip because I know exactly where it's been. So there you have it. And it's got its own special little bag. Let's talk about what else have we got. Smelling salts. This is new to the program, and I've never done it as part of the routine before. This is fun. So, ladies.
You're like any joke.
So now, ladies. Whoa. Good afternoon. So, ladies will sometimes, especially delicate ladies of society, will sometimes become overwhelmed with life's little circumstance. They will find themselves going into a faint, as it were. You're going to get to smell it too. Are you ready to smell something else? It's really yucky. You're going to love it. Fantastic. So, smelling salts. You've probably heard of smelling salts. Here's the real thing, right here. Whoa. Are you ready? Oh, you little children, you need to smell too. Let's let Mama smell first. It is fairly vile, but a good sniff of that would wake you up. I'll let you pass it down. She's got her own. This is not her first trip to the doctor's office. Yeah, she got it. Sometimes it takes a minute. I might have smelled all the good stuff up in the first sniff. It is the fairly intense extracts of several noxious smelling things, one of which being and there's some ammonia caused. Some ammonia generating products. Oh, you're gonna love it, it's really stinky. Oh, did you get the big steak? Isn't that delightful? Would you like to have a shot?
Yes.
That's right. Oh, there we go. Sometimes it takes a moment. But there's extract of peppermint in there, so if you've ever dealt with extract of peppermint, it's intense stuff. So there you have it. That's the stuff right there. Oh, yes. Taking away the bottom of the cork. I wonder if that's bad. Oh, good. All right, so another very popular, let's see which one. I've got about 10 minutes. Talk about one more thing and then we're going to look at somebody's brain. So there are 4 humours that govern the health of the body in the year of our Lord 1780, and those 4 humours I shall explain to you right now. First of all, there is blood. Blood? Are you familiar with blood? Do you know what blood is? Raise your hand if you know what blood is. Very good. We know blood. We've probably all bled our own blood at some point. Right? Number 2, there is phlegm. Phlegm. We're all familiar with phlegm, aren't we? We know what phlegm is. And then there is the two last ones. They're the really delicate ones. Yellow bile and black bile. And ladies, delicate ladies of society are always curious to know, oh doctor, what? They do a lot of that when they see me. Oh doctor. They should. They ought to. They're always curious to know, doctor, what are yellow and black bile? And I shall try to delicately explain yellow and black bile to you by saying very much the same manner that I tell them. And that is, the next time you go to the necessary, look down the hole, and there they are, yellow bile and black bile. Yeah? Are we all on the same page? Everybody with me? Okay, good. Now, it is the belief of the natural philosophers, scientists, and doctors, surgeons of the era that the body, the health and well-being of the body is based on keeping those 4 humours in balance. So much of what I do is an attempt not so much to learn about the body, but to keep those 4 humours balanced. So for example, bleeding. If you're ill, I will straight away bleed 8 to 10 ounces and then see how you feel after that. Right? We'll get rid of the overabundance of the blood and so forth. Rates, by the way, we can get rid of that unsightly facial growth we've got there, so. Oh, the ladies love it. Well, not that I want to speak right now. Nothing from you. And so, but bleeding, we can bleed, we can purge, we can, well, that's about as delicate as I can be.
What do you do for an excess of phlegm?
Well, for an excess of phlegm, lots of times we can give you a concoction to make you sneeze excessively. There's cayenne peppers and things of that nature that will make it's unpleasant. All right, so let's see how much time I've got. I've got 5 minutes, just enough time for some cranial surgery. He says, me, would you like to be my helper? How about your brother? Are you the brother? Would you like to be my helper? All you have to do is just stand here. Would you like to help? What about your sister? Is she super brave? Are you very brave? You are very brave. What's your name? Christiana. Great Scott, that's a long name. You're not even that tall. Christiana. I'm the doctor. It's a pleasure to meet you. So, what we're going to do is we're going to pretend like you got a great crack on the head. And your skull, which is normally this shape, look, I can prove it, Do you know what your skull protects? What's inside your skull? Your brains? Brains? Yeah, does that sound familiar? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Alright, so now, inside this protective casing of bone is your brain. Right? Now, the brain is very delicate and mysterious and is not to be tampered with. There's no poking or prodding or pushing or pressure. It's never a good thing, especially in my day, because it means, yeah, you probably did. Right. So, we're going to pretend like you got a great chop and a blow on the head. Alright? Now, instead of your brain, instead of your skull being this shape, now a great fracture is formed and now it's smashed in like so. That's alright. I don't need to see, it's good. Indoor lighting, yeah, that's normal. Where was I? Brain getting smashed? Yes, he was helping me. Are you making the skull shape? Now, instead of it being like this, now it's all smushed like this, and those sharp broken pieces of skull are pushing on your brain. And if it doesn't kill her immediately, it will eventually kill her. That's no good. So what we're going to do is, we're going to make a hole in her skull. Alright, so come stand right here. Come stand right here. No, I'm not really going to do it. We're just going to pretend. You want to come stand right here? Yeah, use this. Would you like to hold it? Just don't drop it on the floor. Because then you have to pay for it. I don't think you have much money in your pocket. Alright, now here, let me see. Now you come stand right here, and we're going to pretend. First, we're going to use my pretend. That's not really going to go in here. Do you want to try? No. Okay. Well, you do. Oh, well, come here, Brave. Come here, Very Brave. All right, Very Brave. Is that your name, Very Brave? Yeah. He said it was. No, he said it was Very Brave. Now, what Very Brave Noah is going to do is, he's got a great crack. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend like we're going to shave his hair off. And then he's going to be bald. No, I'm doing my fingers like that. We're not really doing it. Look, your hair is still all. Would you like to try? Somebody's got to get that head back.
How about Dad?
How about, what if I did it to your dad? You know what, we'll let him sit right here, he doesn't even have to move. He doesn't even have to go anywhere, so watch this. So what we're going to do is we're going to shave his hair off like this, shave. He's almost got the proper haircut for it. It's not very long to start with. Then I'm going to make an X-shaped incision so I can peel back the scalp. That's what a lot of people think. Peel back the scalp and expose the skull, and I'm going to find that fracture and I'm going to take this fellow and I'm going to put it on there and I'm going to turn like this and make a hole. No, it would hurt if I did, and that would be bad. He would be upset with me. Alright, so we're going to turn it like that and it's going to make a hole, a circular incision in the bone, because what I've got to do is, I've got to introduce, here it is, I've got to introduce, what happened? I've got to introduce this fellow into we'll pull out the disc of bone and get rid of it, it's got to go. And then I'm going to put this underneath the skull like so, and I'm going to lift those bits of bone back into the proper position so that the skull will heal. It will knit and heal. And the beauty of this is, people survived this all the time. It's a very ancient form of, there we are, surgery.
Can I have a lot of it?
Of this. You know, when I'm done you can, if you'd like to. I'm almost done now, as a matter of fact. This is a very ancient form of surgery, the trephine, or the trephine. They'll find bronze versions of this from the days of old Julius Caesar, from the ruins of ancient Rome. The Aztecs and the Mayans, they had this technology. This is not anything new to me. This is 1,000 years old by the time it gets into my hands. So it's been done and done and done with fairly good rate of success. You'll find bones in excavations, skulls that have had the holes in them, and you can tell the person survived it. People survive it all the time. People survive it all the time. As a matter of fact, about 2 years ago at Martin, his station, I met a fellow who'd had this procedure done on him not once, not twice, 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, in a line. And he says, after the show, he says, "Doctor, have you ever felt of anybody that actually had this done?" And I said, "No, no." He says, "Come feel." And he's got, they didn't put anything on top. He's just got these big dips in his head, and it's like skin and brain. was very strange. But
They
people
didn't kill
survived
them
it.
with a shilling, or?
No, actually, and you didn't have to. It's sometimes they'll press a coin and smash it and put it in there to have a little shield sort of against a blow of some sort. But people could survive it, and they did it all the time. I don't do what I do because I'm a barbarian. I do what I do because this is all we know at this time in the year of our Lord 1780. I do it this way because this is the way it's been done for hundreds of years before me, and it's a very stagnant profession. And it will be this way at least for another 20 years or so for me. And it will stay this way until germs get discovered right about the time of the Civil War, and that's another almost 100 years away from it. And I will be long dead before that happens. So I want you to keep that in mind. I don't do this because I'm cruel. And everybody knows that this is a disgusting, gross profession and painful. But I hope that you learned a little something about maybe some of the why I did it. All right, last question, here we go. Who is glad that I am not your doctor? I shall try not to be gravely insulted, and thank you very much.